And now on radio, Horrible Histories, part 26, or our epic series, the story of the Georgian legend. I'm sorry, I'll read that again. The story of the Georgian legend.
Throughout the reign of good King George...
Which one?
Well, I'm not really sure. I think there might have been 4 of them.
Call yourself a historian.
Well, I'm not really a historian. I'm just an actor with a thrilling voice. I'm just reading what's written on the page in front of me, so if you don't mind...
Oh. As you were. Carry on. Don't mind me. I'm just a listener.
Thank you.
I just pay my licence fee and your wages.
Throughout the reign of good King George's, there have been many famous villains. The infamous outlaw Rob Roy.
Oh, hi, the new haggis, kilts, gingers.
The very infamous pirate Edward Teachaw Blackbeard.
Shiver me timber, Jim lad, X marks the spot.
And then, more totally, completely infamous than the highwayman Dick Turpin.
Stand and deliver your money or your life.
Let's go back in time with our roving reporter Roger. Roger, you are a roving reporter and you've gone back in time. What can you tell us about Dick Turpin?
Thank you, boring historian in the studio. I'm Roger, the roving reporter, reporting to you from 1712, and pretty grim it is too, although a bag of chips is pretty cheap. I had hoped to speak to Dick Turpin in person, but unfortunately, they've just hung him. Hanged him. Hunged him. He's dead. However, I have here a lady who said she had her drawers rifled through by Mr. Turpin on more than one occasion. So, tell me, Mrs. Obadiah.
Oi, that's Ms. Obadiah to you.
Tell me, Ms. O, what was he like?
Well, he was a brave and handsome hero who was wonderful on horse.
Really?
Oh, yeah, and he was so polite, always please can't have your purse, and if you be so good as to hand over your jewellery, and he never snatched, and always said thank you, my lady. Oh, and he had such lovely soft hands.
Well, there's one view, although I've been chatting to some of the locals, and according to them, Dick started out as a part of a gang of violent housebreakers who used to rob and torture their victims until they revealed the whereabouts of their valuables.
Oh, well, he is always a gentleman to me. Always warmed his hands first before he helped himself.
And thank you, Miss O. Well, I had hoped to interview some of his old friends from his early robbing days, but apparently he turned them all in return for his freedom. And it was at this point he launched his solo career and developed his catchphrase, which was to give pleasure to millions. Stand and deliver your money or your life. And so it's back to you, boring historian in the studio.
Thank you, Roger. And that's about all we have time for this week. Next week, I'll be going back in history and asking Adolf Hitler's mother if he really was such a naughty boy or just misunderstood.
And now, for Radio Horrible Histories charity appeal, Jonathan Swift, well-known author of Gulliver's Travels, make an appeal today for any spare babies who may have to help feed the starving Irish.
Good afternoon. I've been told that a young, healthy child of a year old is the most delicious, nourishing and wholesome food, whether it's stewed, toasted, baked or boiled. I humbly suggest that 100,000 infants may be offered to sale to rich people in the kingdom.
Babies no! Jason no! Babies no! Jason no!
The mothers should try to make sure that they are plump, fat and good for the table.
Oi, Swifty! You want to watch what you say? You're going to get yourself into some serious trouble.
Nonsense! I'm merely highlighting a real problem that exists in Ireland to the use of my lightning satirical wit.
Satirical wit's my armpit. You want to be babies?
No, I think you're missing the point. No, put me down!
I'm sorry, and I think that's about it from Radio Horrible Histories for this week. Next week we'll be bringing you... Oi, leave that cable alone!